For many of us in urban centers across the country, cost and access to quality education are often taken for granted. With transportation at our disposal and money set aside to cover tuition and other related expenses, the everyday routine of making it to the roll call is an afterthought. For 5 primary school students from the village of Machakilha, the most isolated community in southern Belize, the prospects of higher learning includes the rigors of daily travel to and from this far-flung corner of the Jewel. Today is examination day for Standard 6 students across the country. Their performance in the annual papers, which have seen at least 3 iterations since they were first administered, may determine the high schools that they are eligible to attend in the upcoming academic year. While his peers in Punta Gorda are still sound asleep, 12-year-old Alfonso Putul has been roused from his slumber. It is 3 a.m. and the household is already alive with activity. Waking up extremely early is not so much on account of Alfonso's anxiety. For him and his fellow classmates, this is what they must do to get a head start if they are to arrive on time to sit the PSC.
Well, like this, we have to get up early in the morning and then go bed, then start checking that road. And sometimes when it's Monday, we have to go early, and when we reach, we're tired.
If it rains, we will have mud up onto our knees.
So you'll be using that one.
The geographic distance between Machakilha and Dolores, its nearest neighbor, is roughly 6 miles. To get there, residents must traverse a demanding terrain accessible only by foot or horseback. On Thursday evening, I ventured to the remote village ahead of the pre-dawn commute to Corazon Creek Technical High School, where the exams will be sat. The journey to Machakilha is difficult. Even by pony trekking, negotiating this environment is grueling.
The condition of the road during the rainy season is the worst part in our life. From Machakilha to Dolores, when it's really muddy, it took us more than 2 hours walking from that place to the next village, and dry season would only take us an hour and a half. And for us to walk in and out of this community is really challenging for us, especially the kids that are attending high school, and for those who would go and sit PSE in Corazon as well.
Traveling with me to get a first-hand experience of the taxing passage is Christina Koch. She is the spokesperson for the Maya Leaders Alliance.
We're here primarily for the purpose of understanding better and getting an in-depth appreciation of the struggle that rural people from the most remote parts of Toledo have to endure to access basic amenities, right? Whether that be healthcare, education, or even just being able to go to the urban center, being able to go to Punta Gorda.
For the purpose of this piece, we are focusing on access to education and the plight of young students who are forced to make the 4-year sacrifice in pursuit of academic achievement. The road to entering and completing secondary school for the children of Machakilha remains unpaved.
This is my 2nd year in high school, struggling and suffering while going to school, because worse when it's rainy season. It's very difficult for us. It's worse when it's really muddy. We have to come out here early in the morning. And so we kindly ask the government to build us a rock road. And sometimes I feel sorry for young females too, as my age. They couldn't afford to go to school. But me, I need my education, so I need to sacrifice myself for doing this.
Back at Alfonso's home, an early breakfast is being prepared. Freshly baked tortillas, chicken sausage, and hot coffee ground locally make up his sustenance for the day. The journey ahead will draw everything from him, including the Spartan nourishment he would have had a few hours earlier.
Every time we are tired when we reach, and it's hard to focus on your work when you're tired, but I know that the Ministry of Education find a place for us to stay in Dolores, but I choose not to go because I want you and the government to see what we always go through. But and not only during PSE we need help, because later on I'll be going to high school. I will, if the government still not build our road, then we are going to suffer again.
Just before first light, 3 of the 5 students sitting the second half of the primary school examinations set out on foot from Machakilha. They will meet up with other pupils in Dolores, where they will board a passenger bus to Corazon Creek. The road to the primary school examinations 2019 has taken me deep into the wilderness of the Toledo district, where a class of 5 students has made the trek from Machakilha village to Dolores and on to Corazon to sit their PSC Part 2.
How does the water get? The water right there?
Among them is 15-year-old Jahimer Quib. He lost his father at a very young age and has had to relocate to Machakilha with his older sister and her husband.
I was born in San Vicente village. Well, my dad died, and my brother-in-law adopted me, and I come here to study. Because for my mom, it's difficult because she left alone, and then she went to San Miguel, and I stay here.
Do you feel confident at this point that you will do your best and you will perform to the best of your ability and try to pass the exam?
Yes, I will try my very best. I'll try to do good.
There to help them is Arnaldo Putol. Not only is he the second alcalde in the village, he is also a teacher at the multi-grade school.
The children are interested in education. They are willing to take what needs to be taken by them, especially when they have to leave early in the morning. Children are always excited, are always willing to come out and learn and test out their knowledge out there. So, but the hard part is when we have to walk and these children would get a little cut on the foot, and sometimes they would scream and run if they see snakes and scorpions as well. So these are really the dangers that we face here in Machakilha.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.